I hope you've all seen this. I understand we're in an age of healthy skepticism, and then we're in an age of where no one trusts anyone else. And I think actions do matter. Certainly in the business we're in, words don't. Lieutenant Governor and I have centered housing. We've been able to secure historic investments in housing. But I think JD's question, and Lieutenant Governor, I may go to you again because you're an expert in this area. I think the question is that while this will provide, upwards of 2,500 residencies and help try and keep people in there, the need is far greater than what 195 million will be able to do. I think what I would say, and I hope all of you are doing what we're going to try and do it and get it out to you. We're dissecting the American Rescue Plan that was signed by President Biden yesterday. That piece of legislation has the potential to change lives. By some estimates, we can cut childhood poverty in half with that money. And they're basing a lot of that on stability and home ownership. So I would like to say, while we put in significant amounts, it is not enough. It will have an impact. The one thing I would say, JD, is that 195 million in housing infrastructure bonds and other support from the state leverages about another $500 million in private sector investment. And that's where we get things to grow. But Lieutenant Governor, if you want to add anything, I would just answer to JD's question. While it's historic and we're making progress, we will acknowledge this is a zero-sum proposition. As long as one Minnesotan is housing insecure, we don't feel like we're done. That's in unsheltered homelessness as well as housing stability, and it especially with our children. So, Lieutenant Governor, if anything else you want to add.
I would just say I would associate myself with the remarks that the governor just made. This has been housing insecurity was a crisis before the pandemic, and we have tried to do as much as we can over the last year to keep people housed as much as we can with the eviction moratorium, which has been one of the most important tools in our toolbox to do that, and need our friends in the legislature to help us to make sure people can stay housed after the emergency, peacetime emergency ends. But I'd say this, it is a good start, but we are making up, frankly, for years of not investing enough. So we are always going to go big so people can go home. That's sort of our catchphrase here when it comes to bonding and asking for additional support for our relatives experiencing homelessness. But it's like the governor said, it's 2,400 homes, ability to leverage additional resources, about 5,300 annual jobs that will be created by that bonding. And we know that we certainly need more. And the way to think about it as we're talking about bonding and building is really about scaffolding, right? So that we're doing each session. We are building more and more into the system so that we can actually meet that need. But we have fallen behind, and for the governor and I, our goal is to catch up.